Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Isn't that sad? I really have to think about what day it is. I'm getting my days mixed up. Let me fix my camera a little. Sure, I'm not the only one that doesn't know what day we're on here. Good morning, Lisa, Donna, Nancy. Good morning, everybody. So how's everybody's week going? Days are starting to really run together. Good morning, Tina. So we have Alabama. Well, just a little bit ago, like the weather here, I'm in Pennsylvania. The weather here is crazy. I know in some other states it is as well. At least we're not getting tornadoes. I know that was some of the things that was happening out there. I've been staying away from the news a lot lately. Just getting, tired of the repetitiveness, and not that we don't have to watch about the virus, but it's a little, you get so many conflicting things with the media that I've been staying away from the news. But I will tell you, here in Pennsylvania, today, I think we've had all 4 seasons, except for I'm waiting for summer, but it looks like summer's ready to head on in. We've had snow. We got up this morning, it was raining a little and really gloomy. Then that turned into like a whiteout snow. And then it cleared up as fast as it came. And the sun is shining like summer wants to. Sorry, I'm getting phone calls. I always put this on for it not, and it gets disturbed. And I don't know why. I don't think I ever when I put my other settings on, it won't let me get comments. So my phone's weird. But anyways, so now it's really sunny out and it's supposed to warm up. So I think we might have had all 4 seasons today here in Pennsylvania. Tennessee is pretty today, a little cold, praying this is over soon. I just want to get out here and start enjoying our spring and summer. My hair is all sticking up here. I look like a crazy girl here. Good morning, Charmaine. It's just, I'm ready to get back into the swing of things, and I know everybody else is as well. So we need to get moving on with this, and this whole thing that's going across the states and across the globe, we just want to get past all of this and get back to our normal lives. I know that my days are literally running together. I'm a stay-at-home. I work from my home, so I'm really used to being home, and usually I know the days because my husband works out of the house, but now he's here with me full-time, working out of a makeshift office because we don't have a home office. I have a tiny little house. So it's just a 3-bedroom house, but one of the bedrooms, I don't have any more of my children here now. They're all married and grown. So he's taking over one of the bedrooms, and we've made it a makeshift office for him. So it's crazy because now the days are running together because my husband's here. And I just asked him this morning, I said, is this Thursday or is this Friday? And he said, well, hold on, let me check my phone. So we literally had to look at the calendars on our phone to find out what day it was. And I'm sure I am not the only one doing that right now. So how are all of you married and unmarried folks having the time of your life dealing with your spouses and everybody in one spot? Children, homeschooling, how's everybody doing with that? It's been quite an adjustment here. Sorry, had to get a drink. So I'm sure it's not, I don't have little children. I have my grandchildren, but they don't live with me. So I did homeschool my children. So I have 5 children, 4 of them were homeschooled. And they were homeschooled up until, I think my one daughter went back. She wanted to go, we had moved into a new district and she wanted to meet some friends. So when we moved to our new district, my youngest child went to school, actual school in our district in 8th grade, and my other one went in 9th grade. So Oh, Heather, that's funny. So I did homeschool my children up until they were like teenagers. So, but that was a choice I'd made. I did it early on, and I kind of worked into that. It's tough. It's tough. You're ready for me time? Yeah. So I feel for all of you that got thrown into it, and it really was not a choice. And some of you that have worked out of the home are now still working out of the home, but also required to homeschool your children. So I really feel bad for that's happening to all of you, let alone, everything else that's going on. But, I didn't work. I just homeschooled my children. So I had at least that going for me. Mine's still working daily, Lisa. Well, that's good though. I mean, a lot of people are, even though they're on the front lines and out there, you're still working. So that's always a good thing. There's always a positive to the negative, right? So hubby has to teach online to his adult students, and we are computer craft room. Yeah, it's been tough because, as you know, I work in my house. My house is tiny as it is. I do live in a small little house. I think our square footage of our house is, oh boy, I know this is going to sound insane. It is literally like only livable. I think it was 960 square feet. So if you can imagine that, that's tiny. I always say that I have 2 rooms in my house. You're either in my living room or we have an open floor plan. You're in my kitchen dining room. That's it. And then we have 3 bedrooms upstairs and a half bath down here and a bathroom upstairs. So my house is tiny. And then now to have, my husband in the workspace, I have every surface every day covered in crafts. If you would see my house, you would just be like, I can't. And I clean it up every night, believe it or not. When I'm done crafting, I clean up and put away my crafts every day. So it's crazy because now I feel like, my husband's invading my craft space as well. But he's really not though, because he's upstairs in a bedroom. But it's just I've got this whole house. It's crazy. Yeah, I miss my kids. FaceTime. Thank God we have FaceTime and Skype, and you could talk through Messenger, and I have a Facebook portal. I'm so thankful that at least I get to, talk to my grandkids that way, and my children, because I can't imagine back in even the early 1900s, could you imagine when you had to, like literally send mail out to communicate, and that mail would take months. I can't imagine. Okay, so we're going to move on. We can discuss this a little bit anyways while we're moving on. But today we are going to do photo slates. Now I have done photo slates before with you, and I looked back and I have a video from September. But people are starting to buy these again because Mother's Day is coming around, and these are a popular gift. But I always say this is one item that I always have in my personal stock. I always have, there's some few things that I keep that I like to keep. I like to have on hand because of those unexpected gifts. I have a lot of friends call me up and say, hey, I need a gift right now. Or even me, we'll get invited to go somewhere or go to a wedding, and I just pull out things like a photo slate because these are always a good gift. They're great for Mother's Day. If you want to do photos on them, you can do anything on them really. I have a few that I change out on, I like to have a decorative table, and I'll change out through the seasons. So I've done some, like Easter things on them. I have one where I took one of my fall designs, and I have a Christmas design one, and I use them in my decor. They're pretty for that, so I do change these out with my decor. And these are great gifts, okay? And they come with the little feet. So I'm going to show you how they come. We're going to go over them again. I did do a video on them in September, but believe me, I get asked this a lot because people have, these are finicky, okay? If you don't know how to properly, you know, do them. Don't get me wrong, I still mess up. So I have not perfected everything where every single time I do something that it works, because I have really bad days sometimes where I'm like, okay, I'm throwing in the towel, I'm done, because nothing's working out for me. So these are one of the items that are a little bit finicky. Okay, let me get this out of the way. And I'm going to show you how they come. Okay. Do I print them on my Epson printer? Yes. I will tell you, I do use an Epson. As you can see, I use the continuous ink supply system on the exterior. I will put a link where I get my inks. I love the inks that I use. This is my second Epson now. My other one lasted just a little over 2 years and then it conked out. So I'm on my second one. So I've got a good 2 years. I know a lot of you like the Sawgrass. I have never used a Sawgrass. I don't know nothing about printing with the Sawgrass. I don't know about its printing or design software. So I get a lot of people that message me about that. Hey, my colors aren't turning out right. I have a Sawgrass. I literally am clueless with that, just so that you know. So when you get these, I buy these at Coastal Business. And as you know, in my announcements and my pinned post up there, my announcement post, I have a 5% discount that you can use. So please use that, save yourself some money, and you can purchase these. This is my favorite size is probably this one, and then actually I like them all. Which one do I use the most? I probably would say this one. This size is 5 by 9 by 7 by 9. So I always say it's like almost like a 6 by 8 picture or a 5 by, it's more like a 5 by 7 photograph. So it fits nicely in the frame that you'll need when you do it, okay, in the template. So it fits nicely because it takes your basic 5 by 7. There are a few other ones out there that they offer, and I'll go over those with you in a minute. But so when you get them, they're wrapped in. They do come wrapped nicely. I have yet, and I order a lot of these, I have not have any yet that has ever been broken. So they package them nicely when they send them to you. Okay, you know, that's where I order them from. I think that their shipping is quick. And if you haven't checked them out yet, anything over $149, it's free shipping. And you know me, I love free shipping. I love shipping to you guys, but I hate the shipping costs. And I hate that I have to pass that on to you all, but you know, I have to pay it as well. So if you can order something from such as these from Coastal Business Supply, honestly, it's going to be more cost effective for you to get them there and then maybe just get your basket in and go ahead and grab, you know, an order that's $149 and get the free shipping, because these are heavy, and the only way to really ship these are to be put into a like a flat rate mailer, and I can't get a lot of these just because of the sizing and the way the flat rate mailers are. The boxes, they just I think I got like a maximum of 6 of these, and then I think maybe like 8 or 9 in a large. Not that I can't sell them like that to you. I don't think they're cost effective, so you might want to check these out on Coastal Business, okay? And then use that 5% discount anytime you order from them. I always say, even if it just takes care of tax, then so be it. Then it's taking care of my tax, but it's still 5%, okay? So it's in the pinned post and in the announcements. So when it comes, it's going to come like this. It will come with its feet. And this is what they look like. And I have sold these to you before. I did have a buy-in a while ago for them. And I had a lot of people say, oh, the corner is chipped, or, you know, it's a little bit rugged. No two are alike. So remember that. And they're not chipped. This is the way it comes. They are literally rough slate that's been coated for sublimation. Okay, so let's just start these, because these slates and like a lot of glass frames, things like that, take longer to cook or process. The inks take longer to get into them. Okay, so this one's going to take a minute, so let's get it started and then we can talk a little. Okay, so I'm gonna do a picture on mine. All right, and this was a vow renewal that my husband did not long ago. And if you notice, the colors are kind of a little bland. That is the way it goes with sublimation. Remember that. Okay, what you see on your paper is not what you are going to get hardly ever when you press it. Pressing it totally releases everything. It changes, sometimes it changes your colors from what you see to here. I know my teals, they turn out usually like a blue, and then when I press it, it pops to teal. So just remember that. So a lot of people be like, oh, my print's not, and I can't press that. Don't be afraid of that. If that's what you're seeing on your screen and you got your print, your color profiles down to your printer, then that will work. Don't go by what you see here, okay? What's my favorite size? Okay, I think I got it. I'm going to try to keep up with your... how do I get the print's quality so good? I can't really answer that. I have my colors set for my design software. That's very important whenever you purchase your inks. Find out what the color profiles are recommended for your software that you're using and for the ink that you're using, and that will only come from your manufacturers. A lot of people message me at least weekly and say, hey, I bought some inks off of Amazon and my colors are not working. Can you help me with that? I can't. It's not that I don't want to, I can't, because every ink manufacturer tends to have some different kind of color profile that goes with their inks. Okay? I use a lot of Photoshop. So I know a lot of people say Photoshop's hard, and believe me, it is. Thank goodness my daughter did graphic design, and she's able to walk me through a lot of stuff. So I kind of learned that from her. Okay, so this is the print that I'm going to do. All right, we are going to press these at 400 degrees, 460 seconds. Okay. I do use a pressing pillow. This is a Cricut from the Cricut brand. Right at Michael's, Amazon, you can find those. I have many links to this. And then butcher paper. So we're going to do, and you know what? I never got this. Hold on, let me get my setting. My pressed setting. I always think I'm ready and I'm never ready. So I like to adjust my pressures before I actually start my pressing. That's not hot yet. Okay. And then I'm going to cut out my picture a little. How many seconds? It's 400 degrees, 460 seconds. And please keep that wrote down in a book. There is no way that I can ever remember all of my press settings, all of my print settings. Everything I do is in my trusty little book. I keep a little journal, and it has everything in it. Everything that I've ever pressed, and I found out when I finally worked out the kinks, what it works best, I put in this book. From everything to times to pressures, if I need certain things, if it needs to be mirrored or if it's not mirrored, things like that. I make all those notes in there. And then what I usually do is I always have a tape measure. Mine cracked when I pre-pressed. It might have been a little bit cold. I've had them crack before. So like I said, I haven't, believe it or not, I haven't pressed one of these probably in about 5 weeks. It's been a while. I didn't have them in stock for a while, so I wasn't marketing them. So we're going to see how this goes. We're going to do this live with you guys because believe me, I mess up a lot. So what I do is I usually take my tape measure and I always measure my templates. A lot of people ask me, how do you figure out your templates? 90% of the time, I do not use a template that even comes with a product. I just make my own. And by doing that, what I do is I determine what my sizing is. Because I've found sometimes when I transfer over the templates, they're not correct. I don't know why, but they're not. Some are. But I found a lot that I'll go and print them and then I'll go to press them and I'll put them down. I'll be like, that's either too big or that's too small. So I don't know if it's something I'm doing. So I just tend to measure my own. And then I measure it again this way. And then I get my dimensions and then I just set my design software with that when I start to, and then when I start to design, or I'll get that template ready and then I'll just put my photo into that template. That's how I do it. And then these need to be mirror imaged. So all we're going to do is line this up. Okay, and then with these, I kind of fold it back and then tape it on. I actually got a little bit short on this side when I printed, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna really want to wrap these sides down, okay? That's the big thing. Really want to get these sides down around the slate. Someone had asked me, can you use the Cricut Easy Press for this? I'm gonna tell you, probably no. First off, these need a lot of pressure. And second off, I am not going to sit there for 460 seconds holding this on with the Cricut Easy Press. I'm not saying that it might not be able to be done. I have not tried it. I am not going to attempt it. But if that's your only means and, you know, if you want to try it, go for it. I always say you don't know until you try. So I just tape these down really good. Okay, so it's just taped down really well. Usually whenever I do this, I don't know why I didn't, I usually try to center my print in the middle of my paper so that I have lots of room to wrap around. I did not this time. So just trying to make sure it's taped down. And I'll tell you why I do that. Because with these slates, there was a lot of grooves in here, a lot of edging, and you'll see that that white where they coated it is kind of in there. So I like to, when I'm done with it, I kind of smooth this down in to those grooves just to get that color to bleed down in as well. So that's what I just do. I kind of press it in there. Where do I get the slates? I'm not offering them just because of the shipping cost. Does not really seem to be cost effective. I get them, Amy, at Coastal. There is in my pinned post, the announcements, there is, there's a link to that. You could save 5% if you use that discount code. Don't forget to use that discount code because you will not get it without the discount code. Okay. Slate photo up. Okay. And then I cover again with so it's foam pad, butcher paper, photo slate, butcher paper, once again. And then I have these silicone pressing, these are actually listed, I'm gonna have to put the link again. These are listed as silicone table mats. A lot of them, people use them, or baking mats, things like that. A lot of people use them for their children as a table mat, a placemat. And I think they are listed as placemats. I got these on Amazon in a pack of like 4 or 5. So I use that, and that really helps to retain the heat in your photo slate. And this to me is really the key to getting that photo slate to print correctly. Okay, or to press correctly. So we're going to see, because we're doing this live. Okay, so 400 degrees, 460 seconds. All right. What sublimation paper do I recommend? Let me see if I can go back. I might have missed some. Mine cracked when pre-pressed. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had any of these crack. But I will tell you though, one of the things that I would suggest, now I store a lot of things in shelving in my basement, and it's a little bit cooler down there, so things get cooler. When I know that I'm going to be pressing something the next day, I literally bring things up, especially glass, mugs, photo slates, my glass frames. I literally bring them up and I set them up here to get to room temperature, because sometimes that temperature difference will crack your slates or your frames or your mugs. So if that helps, maybe that might be something that you need. And sometimes even with my mugs, to really just get them to warm up a little quicker, I'll fill them with warm water. And then, a couple times to get them to some temp. So make sure that your slates are, room temperature, because that temperature difference will crack them. Medium pressure, I probably do like a medium heavy, if that makes sense. What software do I use? I answered that. I do Photoshop. 400 degrees for 460 seconds, medium heavy pressure. Okay, so I'm just going back, trying to go back through here. Do you sell these? I do keep them in my shop if you're just looking for 1 or 2. And remember, everything in my Etsy shop is always free shipping. So it might look like a little bit more, but everything's free shipping over there, okay? And you got to also remember, a lot of people's like, well, that's expensive. It's in your Etsy shop. Well, I'm ordering 1. You're ordering 1 or 2. And let me tell you, PayPal, Etsy, things like that, I have to endure the fee for the listing. I have to, also you have to remember, on my end, I have fees for listing, then I have a fee when you purchase it, they take a percentage of it. And then now, those fees have to be, I have to put those in there. I know that a lot of you are like, well, that's expensive. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, but I got to cover my fees. I can't give stuff away. Okay? So you got to understand that on a business owners, we take all of that stuff into consideration. And unfortunately with, PayPal's and Etsy, I have fees. And they take percentages, which I hate, but it is what it is. What sublimation paper do I recommend? I use A-Sub. I like this one. This is the one that I use. So, and I do use the 125G. A lot of people like the 120G. They say, it's thinner and it doesn't jam as much. And I will tell you this. I did try it one time in the 11 by 17, and for some reason, my Epson, every time it picked it up, it would pick up 2 papers at a time, and it would jam my printer. So this is what I like. This is what works best for me. I do not, Tina, do I use the felt Nomex pad? I do not. I use the silicone baking pad to retain the heat. You can get like 4 or 5 in a pack for $20 to me. And this is what I've always used. I use them for my glass frames. I use them for the photo slates, things like that. Any of my ornaments, my ceramic ornaments, I use this and I love it. I think I've never used the other one, and this works great. So no point in getting the other one if this one's doing the job, right? So no, I do not use that. Do I recommend Photoshop mainly to get the pictures not so grainy? I like Photoshop for photos, for designs, everything like that. That's just my go-to. This is manual too. So I don't know, I just kind of adjust it to like a medium heavy. So all of my presses they're all manual. I do not have pressure, dials or things like that I'm able to tell you any settings. Everything I have is manual. Okay, so and then someone had asked in here, I must have missed it again. How do how do I do my photos? Okay, so when someone wants a photo, when they're looking for a photo slate, what I have them do is send me the best quality photo that they can get. Meaning, if you grab a photo off of somebody's Facebook page, which I've had people do, and they send it to me, it's not going to be, and I tell them this, that photo is not going to be top quality. The best thing for you to do is to see if you can get the original photo. Even if it's just the photo that somebody took on their phone, get them to send that original photo to me or to you and you send it to me. Because the original, as it goes down the line, it gets more grainy, the photo quality is compromised. If you have them send you the original photo from a photographer, they will probably need, unless they have the rights to print or to use that photo, they're going to need permission from the photographer. But if not, and they can get you the original, that's the best way to go. So I always inform people of that, and I do have that in writing when I send that out. That the quality, if you grabbed it off of Facebook, it is not going to be as good a quality as a photographer or as the original. So try to get them in any circumstance to send you the original. Okay. Donna, I'm going to send you, I'm going to put a link in the end on where to get these green pads. Okay. Also, another thing is, sometimes when you do photos, even in Photoshop, and then you go to press it, it seems darker or orangish. That's a big complaint. So I already know that because I've done a lot of photos. So what I tend to do is I will just go in and lighten my photo and brighten it just a tad. Don't wash it out. Just brighten it a tad, and then it seems to bring that orange or that darkness down when you press it. Okay, that's just how I do it. I'm sure there's probably a better way. I'm sure people have other ways of doing it, but that's what I found works for me. Okay, so I just lighten or brighten my photo just a smidgen. Don't wash it out, because if you brighten it too much, you're going to take those colors out and it's going to wash out the photo. But I brighten it just a tad. And then it just seems to work. Okay. All right, we're almost ready. And with photo slates, glass, mugs, anything like that, please wear your gloves. These gloves, they were just in the hairstyling tools on Amazon. You can put in like curling iron gloves, hairstylists, heat gloves. They're just heat resistant. And when I say resistant, I do mean that. Like, I can't hold this slate for a while because it gets hot. But it does, I'm able to handle it, but I can't just sit there and hold it. Like, these would not go into a fire. Okay, the moment of truth. Like I said, I mess up too. So we're going to see. All right, let me get my... Okay, and then I just use a cookie cooling rack. This was $1 cooling rack from the Dollar Tree, and that's what I cool all my items on. probably should have pre-pressed this. Sometimes I do just grab the moisture out, and you know what? I forgot to. So if we get some moisture marks, it's probably because I did not pre-press. And usually I only pre-press it for about a minute or two. So we'll see. Because these slates hold moisture, and I did have them in my basement, so they turned out good. Can everybody see? And look how nice and shiny these are. I mean, they just give such a high gloss finish. I don't know if you're seeing the colors correct, but it's not orangish. It doesn't have any undertones, anything like that. And all I did was lighten my photo just a tad. Okay, so there you go. Are you able to see that? I know I got a glare, but look how beautiful. Skin tones are beautiful. Now, if I'd have probably left it at its original photo, it would have picked up a little bit, like skin seems to turn out orangish when you do that. So that's why I'm saying just lighten it a little bit. And a lot of times that just is the fixer for that. Okay. Simple, easy. You can pre-press these. And like I said, I usually do, I will pre-press my slate maybe like a minute just to try to draw some of that moisture out, because slates really hold a lot of moisture. I didn't. So I'm glad that it didn't get that funky, and I know it's hard to say, but it kind of gets like a white filmish kind of look on it. And if that's happening to your slates, almost positive, the reasoning being is there's moisture in your slate. Okay, so if you're getting that funky whiteness on there, make sure on your next one that you do, pre-press it for maybe like a minute or two, and then leave it cool off for just a little bit, and then go ahead and then try to redo your photo, because you know it more than likely had some moisture in there if you're getting that funny whiteness to it, okay, or kind of like a haze. That means there's moisture in it. Do you use the same pressure to pre-press? I do. And usually that's whenever I already have my press set, because I already have that pressure ready. And then when I go back in, I'll just press my my slate. And I didn't do that today. I wasn't, you know, I'm always winging it. There you go. And I hope it's showing it correctly. I mean, it looks like it's pretty good, but you know, I don't got any of that moisture or anything like that. And a lot of times too, when I first did slates, I was like, I thought I was ruining them. This one didn't do it, but what happens is sometimes your paper will get stuck onto your slate or your mug or something like that. It gets kind of like stuck on it. Wipe it off with a wet cloth, and you'll see that paper comes right off. Do I have a release date? I'm actually going to be doing the final press today. And yes, I think I'm going to probably do it Monday. Okay? I think we've got it down to, I'm answering Tina or Nancy's question. I did show a little sneak peek of something that would be great for Mother's Day. I'm going to finish the last final pressing today. These have been a work in progress. And I think we're going to be able to release that. And I'm going to probably be here on Monday with you guys. So that's my projected date. Is there any slate-like practice on messing up pricey slates? Slates are pricey, so don't get me wrong. But no, I don't think so. Slates are slates. You sometimes, and listen, we are in a business where you are going to mess up. Things are costly, and that's just the way it is. Okay. My image is mirror imaged, and Tammy, the pressing, I press with my photo up. Okay. So unfortunately, I wouldn't say, I don't think, you know, sometimes you just got to bite the bullet, and I always say hope for the best. A lot of times there's things that I ruin that's $10-12 a piece. It comes with the territory. That's what we're doing here. This sublimation is a lot of people that come over from vinyl do not realize, they do not do enough research to realize that this is not vinyl. This is not, 9 times out of 10, you don't run to the Dollar Tree, grab a mug, throw some vinyl on it. If it doesn't work, you peel it off and you start over. Sublimation is not like that. When we print, it's permanent. And, people will say, can I get this off? Can I take this off? No. It's permanent. So, that's just something that if you're new here and you're considering sublimation, please realize that this is a little bit more costly and than vinyl. I came from vinyl. I'm a vinyl girl. I've been doing vinyl probably 10 years. I did it clear back when, it was the scrapbooking thing, and Cricut came out with just that was when I really got into the hobby, when it started scrapbooking, and then they came out. That was 10, 12 years ago. And before that, my daughter, actually, my oldest daughter, which was at that time her boyfriend's mom, which is now her mother-in-law, she was a graphic designer, and she had made big banners and signs, and she was printing, and they were working with vinyl then. And that kind of where my love of vinyl, I was like, oh, what is this stuff? Even though she was doing like metal signs and things like that, I really piqued my interest, and that's been 20 years. So I'm a vinyl girl. I came from vinyl, but before I got into sublimation, I really, really looked into it. You have a lot of people that, and you might be one of them, that's just considering jumping into it. And hey, I'm all for everybody doing something new, but please really YouTube it, get into some groups, start looking at it, searching it, researching it. Because it's not an inexpensive hobby. If you're going to do it as a hobby, it's not inexpensive. It's a little bit more costly, and it's a lot more costly than vinyl. So, and if you mess up, it's permanent. You're not going to just take that vinyl off, clean it up with some, Goo Gone to get the adhesive off and start over. It doesn't work like that. Okay? So please really research it. Because in the end, it's more. There are some things people go to the Dollar Tree and buy and sublimate on. I'm not one of them. I buy all of my stuff from wholesalers and distributors just because I trust their quality. I cannot tell you when you go to the Dollar Tree, and I have people that message me this. Why are my cutting boards, because they're not turning out nice, I'm subbing on 651 vinyl, okay? I don't know. I don't do that, so I don't know. I can't help you with that. I use products that are ready to go. And I know people have success with that stuff. They, sub on glitter, and they sub on the certain vinyls, and I don't. Yeah, I just get pre-coated stuff, and I get from, distributors that I know are good. And Coastal Business One that I have in the pinned post in the announcements with the discount code, they are one of them. I have not had anything that I've ever used with them ever come back bad. Okay? So you definitely... That's one of the things with sublimation. Do your research, and, if you're buying off of Amazon and stuff like that, I'm not familiar with those. So I don't know, and I'm sorry that I can't help you. I don't know nothing about their inks. I don't know. Okay, sorry, I was getting a phone call again. So I don't know nothing about those. I cannot help you out. I can help you if it's something that might have been from a reputable distributor that maybe I've offered to you. I could probably guide you along, and if I can't, the distributors that I use, they probably can. which would be like the coastal business. Okay, they can help you out. So unfortunately, that's what happens. Sublimation is a little bit costly, and you're going to have costly mistakes. When I first started doing slates, I want to say that I really probably went through, I remember my first one was really messed up. I was getting the white hazing, and I didn't know what that was until, you know, I watched a lot of YouTube videos and someone had mentioned I might have had moisture in it. So then I started pre-pressing, and then I found out I think that's what the problem was. So then I did that. But I probably, when I did slates, I did go through quite a few of them, okay? And they're costly mistakes. Comes with the territory. I still mess up. I do lots of mugs. I do lots of fabric items. I still mess up. I have bad days. I have days where I literally throw in the towel. I'm just like, okay, I've pressed 5 different kind of substrates, and I'm just a mess. And I literally will just quit for the day. I'm like, nope, can't do it because I'm messing up more than I'm working, that I'm making a profit from. And I'll stop, and I just won't do it. Okay. Jessica says, very true. I'll be amazing when I get some practice with. Yeah, I love sublimation. I loved vinyl, but I'll be honest with you, I rarely touch my vinyl now. Unless I'm making, I still will do like wall signs and things like that. I still get requests for that. But sublimation, I absolutely love. I wish I would have found this years ago. And I did probably I've been doing it a little over 2 years. I found it probably about 5 years ago. And then I looked into it a little, and then I'm like, And then I came back to it, and I really probably studied it and really, really looked at it, watched a lot of videos for almost a year before I said, you know what, I'm going to transition into it and I'm going to try it. And then I never looked back after that. I really just loved it. But I really, really looked at it. I really went into looking at finding some distributors, finding some wholesalers, because I do have I am a legit, so I have a tax ID and everything like that. So I am able to buy in bigger bulk. I really researched it before I did it. I wanted to make sure, can I afford this? I was going to just do it as a hobby in the beginning. Is it something that I want to afford as a hobby? What are my requirements? Where am I going to get my inks? Things like that. You know, what machine I'm going to purchase? What would be best fit for me? Did I want to do a Sawgrass? Do I want to do an Epson? Things like that. That was a big decision for me. So I knew I really, really had to look into it. Jennifer, can you explain t-shirts? I'm getting confused on what colors you can and cannot sub on, and do you recommend? I will say this, I'm not a big t-shirt girl. I don't do a lot of t-shirts. I do have somebody I also partnered with, and it is in my pinned post, and it is Lucky Bird. You can go to her. Her shirts are top quality. If you're looking for t-shirts, if you're looking for raglans, things like that, she has top quality brands. I don't do a lot of t-shirts. Not that I just don't. I don't get a lot of requests for them. Maybe it's just because I don't offer them a lot. But you can try hers. There's a discount code for it as well. You really want brighter colors. Once you start getting darker, I would probably say like heather grays, white for sure, some of the light pinks. The lighter, the better. Of course, from white down, as you get into more colors, white and heather gray is probably the nicest two that you can do for sublimation, or the very, very light grays. Anything as you start getting down the line and get darker, there's no white in sublimation, so you just can't do them. Okay, so if you're interested, check out that link to Lucky Bird, and then go look at her t-shirts and things like that. Maybe try those and see if that works for you. Okay. Another thing, I did want to come out, and I've had a lot of people, all her shirts are all poly. They, I think her shirts are like 65 and above, but they're not like a Walmart. I've used them. They're not like a Walmart 65 poly. And I don't know what the difference is with her shirts, but if I was to compare her shirt to a Walmart same content poly count, for some reason hers come out brighter. So I'm just going to say the quality of her shirts are really good. So if you're looking for that good shirt, now in a pinch I've went to Walmart, but there's no comparison. There's no comparison when you get the two side by side. For hers turn out a lot brighter and they press better. Okay. White is definitely the best. And the higher poly, the better. So 100% is the best. Do not go under 65%. You really start losing that. So, and the way it works is sublimation will start out at 100%. That means 100% of your inks is getting sublimated in. So when you start going down, if you're at 80%, only 80% of your ink is attaching to that fabric. And sublimation is, inks are a gas. So what happens is when they're pressed, that gas becomes part of the fabric. So that ink now is not ink laying on your fabric like a vinyl, anything like that. It's not laying on it. It is literally taken on the fabric. So 100% of that, if it's polyester, 100% is now inked in. 80% is now inked in. Or, released in, it has become 80% of that fabric. So just remember that. That's how those work. Okay? Yeah, the Walmart ones, I agree, Donna. For some reason, the Walmart ones, I've used them in a pinch. And, but they when you press them, they kind of look more vintage, which that's okay. But they have to have some kind of coating because they're not as bright as the Lucky Bird ones. So I'll just say that. If you're looking for a good one to start with, try hers. And then tell me what you think, because I think they're great. Okay? And tomorrow at 9 a.m., my biggest question I am flooded with continuously. It never stops. It still never stops. When am I going to offer my Google Drive again? That is my biggest question. So I'm going to tell you, you've heard it here first, okay? With the whole everybody not working, I really do feel bad for all of you guys. I do. I have compassion on that. I feel horrible that people just don't have the money. They're trying to make money from home. I am going to do a one more time Google sale. Google Drive sale. Okay? I had so much grief with this last time that I swore I was never going to do it again. And here we are with our own, people are trying to make money. They're trying to sell crafts. And I understand that. So, with that being said, tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to put up, and I'm going to make a little announcement about this on my page. I am only going to offer 200 more of these because this is probably going to be 200 more craziness for me of this Google Drive, because that last Google Drive, I know a lot of you, was here for that. It had caused me a lot of heartache. Yins only know part of it. It was insanity. I'm just going to say that. And I swore I would never do it again. But here we are. I feel bad for people not working. I really do. And I know everybody's trying to make $1 or $2 and trying to get through this. So I am going to offer this Google Drive up again for $100. I am limiting it again to 200 because that will make 400 that I've sold. And it's a lot of stress on my end, but I feel bad for you all. You are trying to make some money to feed your families. You're trying to get through this unemployment. I know we had some stimulus checks come out, but to be honest with you, what does that really help? I mean, it helps. Don't get me wrong. But what does it really help when you haven't been able to pay your bills for 4 weeks, 6 weeks? All that's doing is catching you up on those. So I'm going to offer this one more time tomorrow, 200 limit. That's it. And I probably would have not offered it had we had not been to where we're at now. But I do want you all to try and, make some money. Make some, try to supplement some of you that are, with your unemployment, that aren't able to get unemployment, that your unemployment hasn't started. And just give you another outlet of maybe trying to generate some income for yourselves. So I am going to put that up tomorrow, 9 a.m. for, my $100. And it is a lifetime Google, a lifetime drive, okay? Every design I make, every design that goes into my Etsy shop, I always put onto this drive. So you will forever have, for $100, you will have my designs. Okay? No, I'm not going to do any pre-sales, sorry. Just because it would be too hard to find. I'm trying to give everybody a fair shot at this. So I'm going to make the announcement here as soon as I'm done with this about the Google Drive is going to be offered again. And in what time. So if you need to set your alarm, please do so. That way it's fair to everybody, because some people, we do have some people that are still working. They might be out, in the nursing field, or, some people are still working in restaurants making food. I want them to have the same opportunity, because I'm really doing it for you guys to be able to supplement some income for yourselves, and then still have them without having to always purchase the designs. I've had a lot of people ask. So, all right. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to get that all done. So you heard it here first. Set your alarms. It'll be 9 a.m. tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you put that into account. Okay? Okay. So I'm wishing everybody well. Please be safe. And I will, get all of this done. I'll put links to certain things that I used in here, all of the information you need. And I do have a YouTube channel. You can follow me there. I not only keep the videos here, I keep them over on YouTube, so we have another video log, okay? So that if something happens, which like before happened here, I have it over on YouTube for you. And I do have to say that YouTube is a little bit easier. So subscribe to my channel over there, because the names, you can find what you're looking for. I name them, and the names, when you go to watch all my videos or my video logs, it will tell you what the video is, and it's just a lot easier to find, okay? So please subscribe over there, and then you can find all my videos if you're looking for something when it is time to, dive into whatever it is that you want to make, all right? I've not figured out how to order from you. I don't know what you mean, Cindy. I don't know what you mean by order from me. I have an Etsy shop, and it's in the pinned post in the announcements. You can find. So, all right. All right, I am going to go. I have a bunch of work. I have a bunch of orders I need to fill. Remember, tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Those of you that have been asking, please, please, please open up your Google Drive. It will be open again tomorrow. I am going to limit it for 200. And the reason that I limit them, and I know a lot of people say, why don't you just offer it all the time? I like to limit it because I keep tabs as best as I can who has my Google Drive. I've had to remove a few people because they were selling my designs and offering them again. As you know, some people were taking my designs, they were posting them, compiling them into their own drive, and then they were selling them. If that happens, that is in my rules, you will immediately lose your access to my Google Drive. So that is part of the reason why I've been limiting these. I'm trying to keep tabs on everybody that has it. If you're if you're abusing it, if you're not using them correctly as to the stated in the rules, which you are allowed to make finished designs from them to sell, and personal designs. You can't sell transfers because I do that. You cannot sell the finished transfers. You cannot upload them to free sites I had a few people that were doing that. They were giving away my images in free sites. No, that's a no-go. That will get you taken off of the Google Drive, okay? I will take you out of the access of it, and you've lost your privileges to it. So please do not sell the drives. You cannot sell the drive itself. You cannot sell the images of it. You cannot sell printed transfers from it. You can sell finished items from this, and that's what it's for. It's for you guys to make finished items and sell your hearts out with it. Take them and sell. Make a profit from yourself. But you can't just sell the images themselves or the transfer themselves. Okay? Am I going to do a Christmas in July? Oh, Judy, I haven't even thought that far. Listen, I'm just happy to get out of April and get out of this quarantine at this point. Okay, Judy? So I haven't even thought about Christmas in July. I'm just trying to make it through quarantine at this point without eating myself through it. I'm getting that pretty refrigerator glow there from opening my fridge all the time. Okay, I love you, Judy. So, all right, everybody have a blessed weekend. Be here tomorrow if you're looking for the Google Drive. I'll make all that announcement now. And please join me next week. I'm probably going to start the Mother's Day, my favorite all-time ever gift that I gave you a sneak peek on. So we're going to do that next week. That is my absolute goal. Okay? All right, guys. My fridge, I do got a refrigerator glow. Like, I'm getting tanned. Like, no need to go to the, I got my own little tanning booth. Just open up the fridge. Yeah. So, all right. I love you guys. Have a safe weekend, and I will talk to you later. And you can always message me. All right? And I'll get all of that, Donna. I'll get all of the links, and I'll put it in this post. All right. I love you guys. Be blessed.